Have you ever used an app that just felt different? Incredibly fast, super smooth? Well, there's a good chance you're experiencing the power of Dart. Today, we're taking a look at the engine behind so many of the modern apps we use every single day. So let's get right into it. This quote right here really gets to the heart of it all. See, Dart wasn't just created as some general-purpose language that can build user interfaces. No, its entire design, from the ground up, is all about making UIs that are fast, reactive, and can scale up. It was born for this. So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, Dart is Google's answer to a really important question. What should a programming language look like in the app-centric world we live in? And their answer is this: a modern, object-oriented language that is absolutely obsessed with UI optimization. Now, you've probably heard of Dart because of Flutter mobile apps, right? But its reach is way wider than you'd probably guess. We're talking web apps, desktop apps, even server-side stuff. And it goes further to command line tools and even Internet of Things devices. It's surprisingly versatile. So that versatility is awesome. But what really makes Dart, Dart? What sets it apart from the crowd? Let's dive into its secret sauce, the core stuff that gives it such a powerful and unique edge. Dart's real magic comes from a few key things that all work together beautifully. First, it compiles directly to fast, native machine code, which is a massive performance win. It also has this unique two-speed compilation trick that helps both developers and users. Plus, it has modern safeguards built in, like Null safety, which stops some of the most annoying bugs before they can even happen. And this dual compilation model is honestly genius. When you're coding, you get just-in-time compilation. Think of it like a live translator. This is what enables incredible features like hot reload, where you can see your code changes on screen almost instantly. It's amazing. But then, for the final product, it switches to ahead-of-time compilation, like a pre-translated book, for maximum speed and performance for the person actually using the app. So, the journey from your keyboard to the user's screen is really straightforward. You write your Dart code, it goes through the right compiler for the job, JIT or AOT, and the end result is pure native machine code that runs directly on the device's processor. No middleman. That direct execution is the key to its incredible speed. Okay, enough theory. Let's take a quick peek under the hood at what Dart code actually looks and feels like. And don't worry, we're not going to get bogged down in code. You'll see it's actually very clean and readable. First up, simplicity. You know how in some languages, just putting a variable inside a sentence can be a total mess of plus signs and quotes? Dart just gets rid of all that noise. It's direct, clean, and gets right to the point. And that same idea applies to functions. Instead of a bunch of ceremony, for simple functions, Dart has this fat arrow syntax. It's like a visual and syntactic shortcut, a super direct highway from what goes in to what comes out. No unnecessary detours. And of course, Dart is fully object-oriented. You can think of it like this. You create a single blueprint for something, a class, and then you can use that blueprint to produce as many unique individual copies as you want. Anyone who's worked with Java or C# will feel right at home with this. Now, let's talk about a real game changer, Null safety. This tackles one of the oldest and most common reasons for app crashes. By default, variables in Dart simply cannot be null, period. If you want to allow a null value, you have to explicitly tell the compiler by adding a little question mark. That tiny symbol prevents a massive category of bugs. It's fantastic. Okay, what about things that take time, like grabbing data from the internet? This is essential for any modern app. Dart's async and await keywords make this potentially complicated task look incredibly simple and linear. It's like telling your app, hey, go get this data, and I'll just wait here for you. In the meantime, the rest of the app won't freeze up. So when do you actually use this? Well, pretty much any time your app needs to wait for something without freezing the entire user interface. Making API calls, reading a file from the disk, any kind of network request. These are all perfect use cases. So let's see how this all comes together in the real world. We've seen the nuts and bolts, right? Now let's zoom out and see the big picture, especially how Dart and the Flutter framework are basically two sides of the same coin. This quote just nails it. Flutter's amazing ability to create these beautiful, fast, cross-platform apps, that is directly powered by the features we've just been talking about, built right into the Dart language. You really can't have one without the other. They're a dynamic duo. And look, this isn't just for hobby projects or small startups. As you can see here, major industries are building mission-critical applications with Dart. We're talking finance, e-commerce, healthcare, streaming, the big leagues. Dart is being trusted to deliver high-stakes user experiences. And here's something a lot of people forget. While Flutter gets all the attention, Dart has this other trick up its sleeve. Using its Dart2.js compiler, it can also target the web. This lets developers build full-featured, complex web applications using the same language. Okay, let's pull back for this last section and take a really honest, balanced look at where Dart stands today. We'll cover its biggest strengths, its current limitations, and what the future might have in store for the language. You know, no language is the perfect tool for absolutely every job. Dart's strengths are undeniable. You get that incredible speed, the safety by default, and a structure that is just tailor-made for UI. On the other hand, its ecosystem of libraries is still growing, so it's smaller than giants like JavaScript or Python. And it's not really built for super heavy-duty backend work. So where does Dart truly shine? This checklist is basically the cheat sheet. If your goal is to build a cross-platform app from a single codebase, especially with Flutter, it's a no-brainer. Any project where that native-like speed and a polished user interface are non-negotiable, that is Dart's home turf. And if you remember just one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Every single feature we've talked about, the compilation model, the clean syntax, the async support, it all serves this one single overarching goal: to enable developers to create fast, fluid, and genuinely delightful user experiences. And the cool part is, the story isn't over. Dart is not standing still. Google is actively pouring resources into its future. We can expect to see things like AI-assisted coding, even better performance, and deeper integration with platforms like desktop, web, and even Google's next-gen operating system, Fuchsia. So all of this leaves us with a final, really big question to think about. With its laser focus on the things that matter most for modern apps, that user experience and cross-platform performance, is Dart quietly positioning itself to become the go-to language for the next entire wave of application development? It's definitely something to chew on.